Well, hello. My name's Bill Southern, and you're watching my Nugget Shooter Journals. I might talk a little bit about some tips, tricks, and myths and all that about metal detecting in this little video. And basically, I'm going to start with one thing that probably is one of the main, most important parts of doing what I do, going out and hunting gold. Half a day, longer with a metal detector, not finding anything except bullets and lead, and still thinking I had fun. And no, I'm not crazy. And we got a little bit of a wind today. I hope it's not messing things up too bad. Well, I'm going to talk about attitude first. And a big part of this for me is simply just being out here in the desert. I love it. I absolutely love it. I see things other people don't get to see. I see the life in the desert. I watch it go dormant and come back green again like it is now. If you look right here, you see lots of green showing up all around. I mean, it's only been, I don't know, 4 or 5 days since it rained. Maybe a little longer, not much. And the desert started greening up and things will be getting leaves on it. And I just like watching it. It's like magic how fast it happens. All of a sudden the animals are everywhere and it's great. But attitude, enjoying where you are and what you're doing. And gold nugget prospecting, to a lot of people that try it, seems tedious and insane. And I get comments on a lot of my videos here and there about might as well just hunt in a junkyard, and how can you stand being out there and not finding anything, and you should show more gold because some of these are sort of boring. Well, I'm sorry if that's the way you feel about some of them, any of you out there, but the truth is we don't find gold every time out. I've said it over and over, and we don't. We flat out don't. And anybody that says they do find gold every single time they go out is probably fibbing just a little bit. But there's a lot more trash out here. Back in those days, the old timers just threw it in the washer wherever they dropped it. And we're cleaning that up for the desert and looking for gold while we do it. And when we do get gold, it's just a prize. But being out here in the first place that's the best part for me. That's what I enjoy the most. And the prize is the gold or silver nugget, maybe a copper nugget, a relic or a coin you find. Really makes the day better. And sometimes you walk over that big one. I found some mighty big nuggets in my day, my friends. And yeah, it's sure fun when you dig one of those up and you're thinking it's going to be a piece of trash and you got a lump of gold in your hand. It's a lot of fun. But those big ones are few and far between, and most of what gets the smaller stuff. So, attitude makes it all the more important. And if you go out in the morning thinking you're not going to find any gold, you just know it. I'm not finding any gold today. You might as well stay home, watch TV, because you're probably not going to find any gold. Your attitude's wrong. You're going to be a little shorter patience and maybe temper. And you start noticing when you walk into a thorny bush a little bit, it makes you mad and you start swinging at it, stuff like that. That's a bad attitude. And hunting gold with that attitude is just kind of a waste of time for me. So I don't do it. And another thing is you got to get over not wanting to dig trash. And the reality is, if you get in a spot with zero trash, either you're in a mighty rare virgin spot, or you're somewhere where somebody like me has been and dug up all the trash along with every single piece of gold they could find. And you may not have a lot of trash to dig, but it's going to be tough finding nuggets in a spot that's been worked over that hard. Trashy areas out here mean that it hasn't been hit as hard as the other areas. Yeah, great, right? But it's the truth. It's just the flat out truth. So attitude and being willing to dig the trash and get out and do this is really important. And this is not easy. And there are other channels out there, and I've seen them and you've seen them, that portray someone going out and picking huge nuggets this size out of soft sand, or nuggets that are this size just laying out on the beach somewhere. 9 times out of 10, those are fake. And when you see somebody really dig a nugget, it's obvious they really dug that nugget. And there's always going to be people out there scamming. And if I could put me finding a nugget in every single video, by golly, I'd do it, because I'd be pretty happy finding a nugget every time. Like I said, it just doesn't work that way. Another thing is have faith in your detector. Not a lot of people talk about this. A metal detector is a fine-tuned instrument. When you get an instrument like that in your hands, it's really best to take all the time you can to learn everything about that machine you can learn. Understand what the machine's doing, understand what it's trying to tell you. If you have the settings wrong on your metal detector, it's going to be screaming and squawking and going off on every rock around every time you bump something. And it's basically the machine telling you, stop, 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 go back and reset this, get this straight. We're not going to go into the settings today, but I'm just talking about know your machine good enough that you know what settings you need to use to hunt the area you're in. And that's of the utmost importance. It really is. Know your detector, know which coils you want on that detector for the type of area you're going to hunt, and have faith in your detector. You go out there always thinking the detector's too noisy, this and that. And the other thing, 9 times out of 10, guys, it's because the settings are wrong. And I don't know how many times I've had people get a hold of me, and it still happens today, and say, hey, what are the best settings for the GP Extreme? Or what are the best settings for the Gold Monster? Or what are the best settings for the SDC 2300? Well, the simple answer to that, they're the best settings to allow your machine to run stable and be able to hear targets clearly. And not necessarily is high sensitivity good. If you got your sensitivity or your gain too high, it's going to be too unstable, because you're feeding the machine more information than it can process, and it's going to be noisy. Get that gain, or where you call it the gain, or the down to a level where the machine is not jumping around. Okay, and that sensitivity gain adjustment is very important on a machine. You have to have the machine set up to do what you want it to do. I can't give you any one setting when you call me up or send me an email that'll work for your machine everywhere. And that's where back to why the importance of learning your machine. You learn your machine, then you're going to know what settings you need to set it in just based on the sound the machine's making. And that's why I do a lot of training videos on these machines. I think it's very important that you understand and learn your machine. The guys that don't, they might get over a good target every now and then, but they're not going to get over a bunch of them consistently. It's just how it works. I've seen it, and that's just how it rolls. And slow down. Gold hunting isn't like coin relic hunting, where we're looking for that shot of a target when you're moving fast across the ground, like you see coin and relic hunters do, and a lot of you are coin and relic hunters. Yeah, it's a different method. We have different methods of hunting. Coin and relic hunters in some areas move very slow because the area's been hit hard. And they'll go and they'll crawl with their coil, just looking for another signal nobody else has heard before. Well, we hunt that way almost all the time. It doesn't do any good to go fast across the ground. And there's always going to be an argument about gold being a good conductor or a bad conductor. The truth is, it's number 3 on the list, I believe, of well-known metals, with silver being first, copper being second, and then gold under copper. So a silver target or a copper target is always going to be a harder hit, a little more solid, and gold can be a mellower sound, and in a lot of cases you're not going to hear that when you're moving too fast. You're just going to walk right past it. So I think those things in a nutshell are some of the most important things that you can teach yourself or seek when you're looking at other people online and knowledge. And when you see something that's too good to be true online, you know, it usually is. It really is. And I'm not going to call out anybody by name, but there's some sites out there that are just pathetic in how fake they are. And that leads people to believe that you can go out there with just a stick and find gold nuggets. And although you might get 1 or 2 over a long period of time, it's just not the efficient way to go about it. And geology is something you're going to have to learn. And other than that, you're going to be able to hunt club claims. That's about it. And you learn the geology by accident mostly. As you start learning what gold's in and what the placer deposits are, you're in a club or 2 and you're seeing where the gold is, you start learning what kind of rocks are there and what to look for in that state. But it could be a whole different system of deposits in this next state over or 100 miles away. So for right now, I'm not going to fill you up with too much info, drown you with it. But those are just a few things I find very, very important. Very important. And learning your machine is at the head of that heap, and understanding what that machine is designed to do, and learn to make it do that for you. When you got a guy in Australia telling you to run your gain all the way up on this or that, you got to consider they've done some trial and error over there. And that's probably the setting that works best for them in that type of soil where they are. Here in Arizona, where the soil changes rapidly all the time, and different mineralization, it's best a lot of times to have the sensitivity not all the way up, because you're going to miss more targets than you hear. It's different here than there. It's different here than in Washington. It's different here than in California. It's just different. So you have to learn to get your machine set up for each of these areas. That's why gold machines have all the extra controls and coils and stuff with them that we use, because we run into so many different conditions. And that's why when I pick a gold machine, I try to pick one that'll handle those very conditions, especially the hot, rapidly changing ground. So for now, my friends, if you like these videos, like, subscribe, ring that bell, and I'll keep putting stuff up here and answering your questions. This video is based on some questions I've been getting lately. And leave a comment, and I respond to almost every one of them. Somehow I miss it. And if you got an idea for something you'd like to see me talk about, well, I can do that too. I like to talk. So with that, my friends, it's Nugget Shooter out.